Some short question. Can you give two examples of that data-driven product management? Yeah, maybe from your experience or from some cases that you know.
You know, this is a specific example where let's say we have we have a lot of consumers, right? And then your product is in a country where there's dual languages spoken, right? Let's say, for example. And then how do you decide whether you should start your consumer or your product in multiple languages, right? At what point you decide that whether you should make that switch to dual language mode? So things which help evaluate that is to do a sort of an experiment. Building complete solution where you have, let's say, your app in English and Russian, right? You have two versions. That takes a lot of time, especially for developed apps. So you can sort of do an MVP with the most critical elements in Russian, right? And you can do an A/B with that, and you can find out from the data that what kind of lift you are getting for your customers. Are you getting new users who would like to, use the Russian version of the app? And that's the data you can then extrapolate to make an impact for this kind of a full-fledged solution, right? So here data helped you do an experiment and then collect the potential impact you have. And based upon that, you can go back to the drawing board, check out with the resources and say, hey guys, if we do this, we are going to earn this much amount for the next year because of these many more people are going to come, they are going to convert, right? And we are going to spend this much effort on this. So let's do it. So that's one case where data can help you. Most of the times I have seen experiments being the ones, giving the data for iterations. So it's a lot of experimentations, I would say. Once you have a hypothesis, do an A/B experiment. The experiment gives you whether it's good or not, then you go with it, right? In rare instances, have I seen like data floating around and people just looked at it and then decided, hey, let's do that. I haven't seen that happening a lot, but of course, it can happen if someone has a lot of understanding of how the data is, how the market is. They can look at the data directly and say, hey, this number doesn't look good. It can improve if we do this, right? So that there are two, like look at existing data, see gaps and get that new feature, or propose a hypothesis, do an experiment, validate, right? So these are two areas I would say we can look at. There's no specific example I can give, on this one.